between the woman the scene with 2:17.23. Winning Hamburg is great, but winning London would elevate her to another level, especially if she managed to beat the defending champion. And she is now in the process, potentially, of doing something very special here. She's going for it. She's got the confidence. She's got the belief from Hamburg, but Tchaikovsky is somehow hanging on.
Certainly is, Rob, and that debut from Yehualaw, 2:17.23, put her 7th on the all-time list on her debut. Just phenomenal to think that this is only her second marathon, and she fell over a couple of miles ago, but looking very, very smooth now. And as we said earlier, member of the NN running team from the Netherlands. World record holder for 10K, 29:14, set earlier this year in February. Only 23 years old. She was 3rd at the World Half Marathon Championships in Gdynia, Poland, back in 2020 in the autumn. And her 64:22 at the Antrim Coast Half Marathon just last month was the UK all-comers record. So if she can, and she's built up quite a gap now on Tchaikovsky, the defending champion. So Yehualaw now, if she can keep this going, she will become the youngest ever winner of the elite women's race at the London Marathon. That little tap, tap, tap sound you can hear of the shoes, that's another feature of the new era shoes. But so far, looking very, very comfortable, isn't she? 2:03 on the clock. Just another 15 minutes or so to run.
Everything about her body language indicates that she's feeling really good here. Jocelyn Tchaikovsky, the defending champion, is in the world's top 10 of all time. And she has been spat out the back by this latest piece of acceleration from her young Ethiopian rival. That's the gap from 1st to 2nd in the women's race. And frankly, if you're trying to judge this by body language, that is a gap that may well just keep getting bigger and bigger. There's Judith Correa, finding this tough going now in 3rd place, trying to hang on from Magertu, who's just behind her in 4. Well, Jocelyn Tchaikovsky can't be ruled out yet, but she can't allow this gap to get any bigger.
Yeah, I mean, looking at how Yehualaw looks, I think she's got this one sewn up, if I'm honest. She looks really strong going away from Tchaikovsky. They're through 35K, so as soon as they're past 40K, we'll bring you that split. And Tchaikovsky, the defending champion, really needs to dig deep now. So behind them, Magertu, Alemu Magertu, the marathon and half marathon specialist. She also only 24 years old, just a year older than Yehualaw. Magertu, 2nd in Frankfurt in 2019. She won Rome in 2019. No championship marathons as yet, but it's all about Yehualaw at the front. The 23-year-old, fastest debut in history. This is just her 2nd marathon ever.
Look how aggressively she's attacking this section of the course. And if you've ever run the London, you will know it's really hurting at this stage. But I'll tell you what, Mara, she looks to me like she's getting quicker and quicker. 4:43. What? 4:43. That is ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous. That is 2:03 pace. That is fast for the men's marathon.
Wow, that's the kind of time that makes you look with your ruler across your pace chart and think that you've made a mistake.
Yeah,
surely.
I'm just wondering if that is a mistake. But, you know, as we said earlier, Asefa, winner of Berlin last week, improved from 2:34 to 2:15. So we are into a new era. If that was correct, I think that must be the fastest split ever in a women's marathon.
Wow. My co-commentator has a look of disbelief on her face. How and ever, whether it's a mistake or whether it isn't, you could tell to the naked eye that it was a brutal, aggressive piece of acceleration, and it has enabled Yalemzerf Yehualaw to establish a big gap on Jocelyn Chepkoskai. Meanwhile, back with the men's race. What a great day unfolding here for the London Marathon. Every bit as dramatic and enjoyable as we hoped it would be. Big group still here. Kenenisa Bekele at the back of it, but still in touch, just. Bahanu Legesse just on the right of picture, this brilliant half marathon runner. Coming back from injury. Can't see him, just behind the pacemaker. Luol Gabri Selassie, keeping a clear sight of the road ahead between the two pacemakers. And Amos Kipruto, the World Championship medalist, just on the left of group. Nearly an hour and a half run. When will the big move come from this group? And who will be brave enough to go with just over 12K remaining?
Yeah, amazingly, Rob, all of these athletes still look in great form, nice and smooth, very comfortable. Even Bekele is there at the back of that group, so nobody has been dropped. So the lead men through 25K, not yet at 30K, going through the Canary Wharf part of the course. And still you can see the trees in the background there, no wind, so really excellent conditions for marathon racing. And wasting no distance round those corners. So Kipruto in the white vest on the left of picture there and black shorts. He's looking very, very good. Kipruto, personal best 2:03.13. 6 men under 2:04 in this field. Legesse also looking very good, and there goes the pacemaker. So his work is done.
Just inside 1:29 at 30K. Yeah, so what? 04 still, maybe just heading up towards 2:05. But it's not always about world records. Sometimes it's about a brilliant race, and that is exactly what we've got unfolding now. No pacemakers. This is a race proper. And perhaps Bahanu Legesse, the third fastest man in history, has been poised and waiting to strike. We haven't seen any race from him in 2022, coming back from injury, but he looks really light on his feet here, Mara. He's running with real style and composure with an hour and a half on the clock. He looks good.
Certainly does, Rob. And, you know, intermediate races to bring on your form, test your form, test what sort of pace, you know, what sort of form you can reasonably aim for are useful. But a lot of these athletes don't race at all in the build-up to these big city marathons. So Yehualaw, massive gap now back to Chepkoskai, the defending champion. That 4:43 split, if it was correct, I'm pretty sure must be the fastest ever. And now well onto the Victoria Embankment through 40K, 2:10.21. So our computer is telling us predicted finish time.
The women's only world record is on, if that is accurate. Mara, 2:10 on the nose would be 2:17.08, 2:17.09. She could do it. Kaitani's women's only world record could go. Whether it was 4:43 or not, it was lightning quick. And it's enabled this incredible youngster to tackle these last few miles in the knowledge, the motivation that she could take a world record here this afternoon.
Yeah, we've seen her speed up phenomenally in the last mile. And she's just outside, here we go, 5:16. So she has slowed from that last phenomenal mile, but still on a very good pace. And if she can speed up just a little bit, she will get under that women's only world record, 2:17.01, Mary Kaitani.
And bear in mind, let's put this into context. She's already produced the fastest debut in history with that 2:17.23, which has her 7th on the all-time list. If she manages to break the record and does so by 2 seconds, she would become only the 4th woman in history to run inside 2:17. Bridget Kosgei in Chicago, the 2:14.04 a couple of years ago. Paula Radcliffe's incredible 2:15.25, which is the course record here in 03. And Tigista Safer, her compatriot, the former 800-meter specialist, who ran 2:15.5 in Berlin just a week or so ago. We could be watching a very, very special talent emerging here, backing up the debut with a brilliant second marathon.
Yeah, and she had a gap of 16 seconds through 40K, so it looks like she's got it sewn up. But meanwhile, Gabri Selassie now pushing on. Lou Gabri Selassie, the Valencia winner from 18, pushing on in this men's race. Excellent debut, 2:04.02. That was the 4th fastest debut of all time. That was back in 2018 for the 30-year-old.
Well, it was looking at one stage as though it would be Bahanu Legesse off the front. He's still there, but he's just behind these leaders now. He's just on the right of picture. Bashir Abdi's still in that group as well. Mara, the world and Olympic bronze medalist, which is so impressive to do that, to go back-to-back global medals in a major championship marathon is so hard to do. So he can't be ruled out at this stage.
Absolutely. We talked about what makes the greatest of all time, and there's no question, I think, that Abdi is a great racer in those championship races. So can he get on the podium here in London? All 7 of those men still in the lead group. But meanwhile, Yehualaw, she's passed Westminster Square, now onto Birdcage Walk. And she will just have 2 corners to go. But honestly, the Birdcage Walk does feel like an eternity at the end of the London Marathon. Just enjoying that slight downhill section there, but looking phenomenal at the moment. So can she just pick up a little bit of time and get inside that women's only world record? She looks full of running, doesn't she? Incredible to think she had that fall. Had she not had the fall, you know, that must have been worth at least 10 seconds getting up and then recovering from that.
And sometimes it can act as a moment of inspiration. I'll never forget Jeffrey Kipsang Cameron falling on the start line of the World Half Marathon Champs in Cardiff in 16 and went on to produce one of the most impressive pieces of distance running I've ever seen. But one of his famous world goals at the half marathon. Yalemzerf Yehualaw is storming to victory here in London. This is quick. The only question is how quick. There's Jocelyn Chepkosgei, the defending champion. Bided her time in that lead pack. It was 7, then it was 5, and all of a sudden, it was all she could do to live with the pace of Yehualaw. But when she accelerated, the young Ethiopian, even Chepkosgei couldn't live with it. You could just see her in the distance, but that gap is too big. And Yehualaw is now beginning to accelerate. Watch the clock. 2:17.01 is the women's only world record, set by Kaitani 5 years ago on this very course. Perhaps it's just going to elude her. But the story is how she bounced back up off the floor, literally, and stole a march on everyone. This has been a wonderful effort. Make no mistake, we're going to watch one of the fastest times there's ever been. 2:17:01. Can she do it? If she misses it, it's by a whisker. It's been a brilliant, brilliant effort by this young 23-year-old who will become the youngest female winner in London Marathon history. It's not going to be the world record, but that doesn't matter. This has been a performance to savour from a young woman we will be seeing and hearing about many, many times over the next decade. Extraordinary bravery, brilliant tactical awareness. When she made the break, the defending champion had no answer. And Yalemzerf Yehualaw takes the title here in London. She won in Hamburg in April, and she has stormed to victory here on the streets of London. A new global star is born, and her name is Yalemzerf Yehualaw. All credit to Jocelyn Chipkoskai, driving towards the line. It was 2:17:43 when she won this title 12 months ago. And she's pretty close to that time. It's a wonderful, wonderful run. Low 2:18s is to be celebrated and congratulated. She did her level best to live with a youngster who has elevated herself to a higher level. And still they keep on coming. This is going to be a really deep field of finishers. McGurtu inside her lifetime best, quicker than she won Seville Marathon in a few months ago. And Korea, the silver medalist from the World Championship, just off the podium.